It's day 17 of my Compose 31 Pieces of Music in 31 Days challenge, and my day's going to start by going to check in on some rehearsals where some of my percussion ensembles are being played over in a neighboring town, which is pretty exciting. But that means I won't be able to get started on my piece for the day until I get back from that, probably around lunchtime. But I just wanted to jump on here before I left for these rehearsals to say, yesterday was wild. Even though it was only one day, it feels like it's been a week since I've been in my studio, because for 15 days straight, I spent at least a couple hours in this room writing music for you, and then a couple hours editing the video. And then yesterday I spent 8 hours driving, and when I got back, I just threw the video together in maybe 1 hour, and I didn't actually really write anything, and I miss it. So this morning I woke up and I already had a few ideas. I'm toying with a few things. I even just got out my little Casio synthesizers and messed with them, just to make some noises, because I missed making noises yesterday. So even if I take nothing else from this experience this month, which I totally will take plenty from it, getting in the habit of literally creating a brand new piece of art every day for 2 weeks really makes its mark. Makes you want to keep doing it, even through the days that are tough. Because yeah, there's some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. You just do it. The first step is showing up, I've heard people say all the time. So you show up and you work and you make something happen. Even though every day may not be your best work, every day's not a Pulitzer, you still create something that didn't exist beforehand. And you know, that's the whole reason I became a composer, was to share my art. I'm excited to get started on the piece for day 17. It'll just be a second for you, but it's going to be a few hours for me. All right, I'll be right back. Finally back from the rehearsals I went to today. It's about 1:30. Oh, it's 2. So it's 2 o'clock, and I'm about to actually get started composing my piece for the day. I had a few ideas in the morning. Well, one idea. I'm going to start with that, see if I feel like it has legs. Pumpkin doesn't think it has legs. And then go from there. Yeah, this little guy has been lonely the last 2 days. I was gone all day yesterday, and I was gone for 5 hours today, so he needs some lovin's before I can get started. I went to a Trillium concert again the other night with a guy, I think his name was John Mueller, and the thing that I took away from it was just the immense patience that he had, taking his time, letting these motives develop. So my thought was to try to write a brass quintet that embodied patience and taking things longer than you kind of feel comfortable doing, and letting them take on their own significance as they develop. Well, I'm not sure if that's what's happened, because I sat down using the horn sample that is in Logic and just letting chords kind of resolve in strange ways. And now I'm like 1 minute and 10 seconds into a horn quartet that just never resolves the way you expect it to. And I'm liking it. I don't know if this is enough to stand on its own. I mean, I think I would go to a concert and listen to this. It might need to be like the middle movement or just part of a longer piece. I'm 100% following my ears. I'm just using a piano roll. I'm not paying any attention to what notes, what chords I'm playing. I'm literally just using voice leading. So like, I have these 4 notes happening, and based on what's here, I feel like this one needs to go here now, which makes this one need to go here, just that type of a thing. I'm curious to see what you think. This is definitely unlike other pieces I've written so far that you guys have heard. Maybe this is just a study that I hope you will let me count as a piece of music for a larger work. Well, I just finished the piece, just got done listening to it, and I'm actually pretty pumped about it. It's funny, this type of music is the music I expected to be writing whenever I decided to become a composer. It's very symphonic, like you just picture a bunch of French horns standing up on the stage, belting it out. It's more on the art music side of things, classical, whatever, than other things I've written so far this month. And it felt good, like, to write that type of thing. Normally, what I write is more on the minimalist side. And, there is minimalism to this in the fact that there's no melody or whatever, but this ended up a lot more romantic than minimalist because of the tonal vocabulary. And I mean romantic in the sense of the musical era, not like a rom-com. So if you're listening closely and you know much about the Romantic era and beyond, you'll probably notice some direct and intentional references to Chopin, as well as Tristan and Isolde. I actually played the first 4 notes on the Casio SK1, and I liked the way that they sounded, so I opened up Logic and plunked those in. And then beyond that, I just followed voice leading. I don't know what notes are playing, I don't know what chords are playing, until the very end, where I did look over at the piano roll to see what notes I was working towards so that I could kind of engineer the ending. This is the first piece I've written this month that gave me goosebumps, I think, which is really exciting. You always know something's good whenever you give yourself goosebumps. This whole piece was meant to be about patience. Originally, I was thinking patience and that I was going to take one simple idea and do it a whole bunch and make it mean something. But in this case, I didn't repeat one idea. I took the concept of misleading you with the resolutions and threaded that through the whole thing. That was the whole point. 4 minutes of defying your expectations on the resolution. Now, granted, there's several resolutions that are exactly what you expect because they were too good of an opportunity not to use them, but then I quickly went a different direction after that. So what do you think? Was the ending worth the wait? Did you enjoy the ending? Or did you get confused? Were you getting anxious listening to it thinking, just resolve already? I could see that being a thing. Everybody's different, so I don't know. I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments. Car. Was the ending worth the wait, or do you wish it had ended 2 minutes sooner or 4 minutes sooner? So I'm going to call day 17 a wrap. My first horn quartet I've ever written. It was supposed to be a brass quintet when I woke up this morning, but I just liked using 4 notes. And I liked the timbre of the French horn, so that's what it is. If you happen to be a French horn player or know French hornists and think they might be interested in a kind of weird quartet to slap onto a program at some point, give them the link to the video. So I'll go ahead and let you hear the piece from day 17. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow.